Battling commercial fraud seems like a good idea, but what arouses suspicion is the unprecedented secrecy surrounding the details of the anti-counterfeiting trade agreement. Well, for more, let's now talk to our Washington correspondent, Dina Gazowski. Dina, despite the efforts to keep it all secret, there were some leaks. Now, what are the major concerns about the agreement and its provisions?
Hi there, Bill. Well, it looks like it's 1, 2, 3 strikes and you're out. Now, we're not playing baseball here. We're talking about internet and file sharing. Now, apparently this anti-counterfeiting trade agreement has a proposal in there that would make internet service providers cut off the internet of users that have illegally shared copyrighted material at least 3 times. So what could this mean for internet users all over the world? Well, joining me to discuss, Shelley Roche, who's a computer programmer, also part of the Ladies of Liberty Alliance. Thanks so much for being here. So you have written about this, and you say that the internet chapter in this agreement is bad news. Why is that? I mean, break it down for us. How is this going to affect me? How is this going to affect you?
Well, it's bad on a number of levels. The first concern is that they're keeping the negotiations secret. So none of the public has access to information, and all we know we've learned from leaked documents. So, that's a problem. The other problem is that there's a clause about liability for internet service providers that would allow them to basically either monitor our traffic more closely than they do now, so actually to inspect what content we're sending. And if they don't do that, then they face liability for, lawsuits from the copyright holders. So they do have one provision in there, though, that would give them kind of a way to avoid this liability. And the only way they can do that is back to this 3 strikes that you're referring to, by immediately taking down internet the content when the copyright holder basically alleges that there's been a violation. So they don't actually have to prove that there's been a violation. They just have to say there's been a violation.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because when you talk about how it affects us, I mean, I read that the worst case scenario here is that you can have websites like YouTube, websites like Flickr shut down because it would be impossible for them. I mean, we're talking about websites where things are uploaded every minute. It would be impossible for them to monitor what's being uploaded. Is it copyrighted? And also, we have to consider the legal fees behind it.
Right.
People are saying these websites are no longer going to make a profit and they're going to shut down. So what's going to happen then?
Right. Well, and that's part of this entertainment industry push to get these copyright rules in place, that they know it's not really reasonable to ask ISPs to monitor traffic to that degree. So they give them this option to instead agree to these safe harbor rules, they're called. And basically, that way there's no due process, they don't have to prove any wrongdoing. They just tell your ISP you've violated something. Your ISP takes the content down, and then the burden of proof is on you to prove that you weren't using something unlawfully.
That's very interesting. We'll have to wait and see if more details come out about this trade agreement, something that really affects everybody, Bill, all over the world.
Interesting discussion. Thanks very much indeed, Dina. That's Dina Gazowski live in our Washington studio here in our Washington.